How's it going, Vandals? I'm Johnny Alpha, and I'd like to welcome you back to Graphic Vandalism. And yeah, it's new video time again. This video is Samurai Resurrection, a look at 5 comics about samurai that are not manga. This video is a request from a good friend of the channel, The Unknown, and I'm so happy they requested this topic. Ever since I was a small child back in the 80s, I've always had a huge respect and love for Japan, their culture, and samurai and ninja. So, this is without a doubt a very fun video for me to make. And with that, Vandals, let's just get into it. Alright, and first up we have 5 Ronin, written by the underrated god of comics, Peter Milligan, with art by various amazing and epic talents, published by Marvel Comics. And 5 Ronin is just a fun and wild take on fan favorite Marvel heroes. It sees Wolverine, the Hulk, the Punisher, Psylocke, and Deadpool all reimagined as feudal era Japanese warriors. And it really is rad how Milligan took these characters, removed all of their superpowers, but somehow still made them as iconic and epic as their powered up counterparts in the 616. Like the way he reimagined Wolverine and how it seems like he never dies. My personal favorites in this story are the Ronin versions of Punisher and Deadpool. I have always wanted to see more from this odd version of the universe, and I'm not kidding, I would kill to see Daredevil and Moon Knight reimagined as samurai badasses. Okay then, and next is Silent Dragon, written by Andy Diggle with jaw-dropping lush art by Lionel Yu, published by Wildstorm Comics. And Silent Dragon takes feudal era Japan and injects it into a vibrant and wild cyberpunk future. The story for this one is all about Hideki, a high-level advisor for the Black Dragon clan, and Hideki has big plans of overthrowing his boss and even the government. He teams up with a kamikaze-style Yakuza group to achieve his goal, and damn, the epic twist at the end of this book is just a gut punch and it's brutal. This comic is just wild, fast, and endlessly fun, full of epic boss battles and amazing action scenes. On the real, check this book out, yo. Cool, cool. And next, let's hop on over to Rashomon, skillfully adapted and drawn by Victor Santos and published in English by Dark Horse Comics. And Rashomon is a feudal era police story crime drama based on the classic book by Ryanosuke Atutagawa. And Rashomon is all about Inspector Heigo Kobayashi and a few of his cases that become strangely intertwined. The first one is a savage murder mystery where everyone involved tells oddly conflicting stories, and the second is just a wonderful different take on the story of the 47 Ronin. We see this version as a wild police standoff that puts Kobayashi at odds with the government. As rules of jurisdiction get in the way, Heigo has to do what he thinks is right. And oh my gosh, Vandals, this book is so darn good, and Santos' art in this is just beautiful. This is a total must read. Right on. And next up, let's take a peek at The Legend of the Scarlet Blades, poetically written and majestically drawn by Saverio Tenuta, and published in English by Humanoids. And Legend of the Scarlet Blades is a glorious mixture of samurai fiction and fantasy myths and magic. And the story for this one is about a one-armed, one-eyed Ronin with no memory named Raido. And Raido is strangely drawn to a young girl and feels for some reason he must protect her. As Raido and this young girl fight for their lives, he slowly starts to remember his life from before and all the savage things done to him in his past that has set him on the path he is on today. And it's very tragic, but can they topple an evil empire and can Raido get his revenge? I'm not going to spoil a damn thing here. Just look at this art. Do yourself a favor and buy this book. If you have even just a passing interest in samurai or fantasy, then you need to read this book, yo. Alright, and last but surely not least, we have the single greatest comic book ever published, Usagi Yojimbo, masterfully written and drawn by the one, the only, the God King Stan Sakai. This comic has been published by Fantagraphics, Mirage, and Dark Horse Comics, and I'm not lying here. Usagi Yojimbo is my favorite comic book ever. I was very young when I first discovered it, and since then me and my dad have been completely obsessed with the comic, its character, and lore. And the story for this one is all about Miyamoto Usagi, a wandering Ronin who is on what seems like a never-ending trek through every corner of feudal Japan. He tries to keep his head down, but he can't help but do what's right, and this always gets him in over his head. But honor is a thing Usagi will never compromise. And damn. You can't say this very often about a comic that has run for 30 years, but Usagi Yojimbo has always kept its high quality of story. Hell, in some cases, it's gotten even better over the years, and I just love the idea of a comic about cute rabbits and cats being a wild, brutal tale of honor and blood. And I can't say it enough. This comic is a true gift to the world and is pretty much the still longest running comic in America. If you haven't read this comic yet, now is a wonderful time to start. And there you have it, Vandals, Samurai Resurrection. And I really have to thank the Unknown again for recommending this video. I finally got to talk about my favorite comic book ever in a video. Please let me know what your favorite samurai comics are in the comments down below, because I love recommendations. But for now, until next time, this is Johnny Alpha from Graphic Vandalism saying don't stop reading.